Now today, as we are honoring the birthday of Imam Al-Askari, you know, it reminds us that we, especially as Muslim and followers of Ahlul Bayt, we're really disconnected with that treasury of Ahlul Bayt traditions. How many the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, Kitab Allah wa itrati, the Quran and Ahlul Bayt. And this is a tragedy to lose that treasury of Ahlul Bayt and their teachings. And this is why we have now this chaos in the Muslim world, that after 1400 years ago, again Bani Umayyah is ruling, right? Bani Umayyah is all over. This ISIS and Al-Qaeda, they are the continuity of Bani Umayyah. And we are punished by this because we lost that part, because the Ummah denied that treasury, and then we are suffering from this punishment. Because Ahlul Bayt are the ones that أعطينا العلم والحلم والسماحة والفصاحة والشجاعة والمحبة في قلوب المؤمنين. ففضلنا بأن منا النبي ومنا الصديق ومنا الطيار ومنا أسد الله ومنا سبط هذه الأمة. Such a huge ocean of knowledge and wisdom. To leave that and go back to Al-Jahiliyyah, that is really what is going on in the Muslim Ummah. And Al-Imam Al-Askari is just one of those 12 Imams, the father of Al-Imam Al-Mahdi. And today is his birthday, alayhim as-salam. And many people in our community even don't notice occasion like that, that today, what day of days today, is the father of our Savior. Let me just say a couple of words from Imam Al-Askari that he said it at that time, and he was under the torture of Ben al-Abbas, and he was surrounded in like a sijn, in the prison in Samarra. One of the words of Imam Al-Askari, ليست العبادة كثرة الصلاة والصيام وإنما العبادة كثرة التفكر في أمر الله. This is really the image of Ahlul Bayt. The deen that they demonstrated is based on التفكر في أمر الله. Imam Al-Askari is saying that the faith and religion is not only salat and siyam. There are a lot of people, Al-Qaeda and ISIS, they fast in Ramadan, they pray more than you and I do. And they do it on time, and they do it 5 times a day. But then why they are doing what they are doing? They have salat and siyam. What they don't have? At-tafakkur. They lost their mind. Critical thinking. Imam said the center of faith is to be thoughtful. قُلْ إِنَّمَا أَعِدُكُمْ بِوَاحِدَةٍ أَن تَقُومُوا لِلَّهِ مَثْنَى وَفُرَادَى ثُمَّ تَفَكَّرُوا. Be thoughtful of Allah and this beautiful creation. أَفَلَا تَتَفَكَّرُونَ. The Quran keeps challenging the Ummah. Don't you think? أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. Don't you use your reason? You want to be one of those who لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بَهَا. They have the heart, they have the brain, but they do not use it. On the day of judgment, when some people are in hell, and the heavenly people ask them that, what happened and what went wrong that you are in hell? What happened? What did you do wrong? You know their answer? They are saying, لَوْ كُنَّا نَسْمَعْ أَوْ نَعْقِلْ مَا كُنَّا فِي أَصْحَابِ السَّعِيرِ. If we were thoughtful, then we were not in hell. I like the title of the book of Dr. Cathy. Is she here? I saw her at the breakfast, but she wrote a book recently, Awakening the Sleeping Tiger Within. that you have a tiger inside your soul, all you need is to wake it up. This tiger of ta'aqul, the tiger of tafakkur, the tiger of being thoughtful. أتزعم أنك جرم صغير وفيك أنت والعالم الأكبر. Imam Ali is saying that you think that you are just small entity. You represent the entire universe in your soul. You just need to open it. This is the religion that Ahlul Bayt and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them, they taught us. The religion of at-tafakkur, at-ta'aqul. Now then, Al-Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam, look at the balance. You know something about Ahlul Bayt is that bring balance to our life. He says, إِنَّ لِلسَّخَاءِ مِقْدَارًا فَإِنْ زَادَ عَلَيْهِ فَهُوَ إِسْرَافٌ. Be generous, but don't be extravagant. Because in the name of generosity, you don't want to waste everything. Oh, I'm generous, I don't care about money. Don't waste it. Generosity is something, and israf is something else. إِنَّ لِلْحَزْمِ مِقْدَارًا فَإِذَا زَادَ عَلَيْهِ فَهُوَ جُبْنٌ. He said, be careful, be muhtat. Carefulness is good, but don't be coward. Because some people try to be too muhtat, that they are ahlul jubn. You should be something balanced, that you are muhtat, you are careful, but you are not coward. لِلْإِقْتِصَادِ مِقْدَارٌ فَإِذَا زَادَ عَلَيْهِ فَهُوَ بُخْلٌ. Be moderate, but don't be cheap and stingy. I mean, it's good to say, well, I want to be like mu'tadil. Yeah. But in the name of i'tidal, if you become stingy, that's another problem. إِنَّ لِلشَّجَاعَةِ مِقْدَارًا فَإِذَا زَادَ عَلَيْهِ فَهُوَ تَهَوُّرٌ. It's good to be shuja', be courageous, but don't be crazy. I mean, shuja' is something, and tahawwur is something else. He is learning, or she is learning, don't worry. I mean, he's want to be earlier speaker, so it's good that it's working. Looks like Sunday service is working. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So you see this balance that the Prophet, Ahlul Bayt, and the Quran, the tradition, they teach us. If we have this one, then we don't have extremism. This media keep asking us, extremism, terrorism, radicalism, radical Islam. How many times you say radical Islam? I mean, what kind of radicalism and terrorism and extremism in this religion? If we have a book, Quran, if Islam is radical, then Quran should be radical. Is this book radical when it says, La ikraha fi din, there is no compulsion in religion? Where is radicalism here? When this book says, Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal maw'idati al hasana, invite them to the path of God with wisdom. He didn't say, Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil aslahati wal dabbabat. No, it says, bil hikma wal maw'idati al hasana. That's what it says. Lakum dinukum waliyadin. My religion is mine, yours is yours. This is what the Prophet said. Where is radicalism in this statement? When it says, قَاتِلُوا الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَ, only fight those who are fighting with you. Don't start any war. If they start, you defend. And the moment they stop, you stop. Because Allah la yuhibbul mu'tadin. He doesn't want you to be aggressive. So when they see that, radical Islam, they say it, but they don't want to hear our answer, right? They keep talking, and if you want to say, well, let me recite a verse from the Quran, they are not interested to listen to the Quran. The Quran that says, Man qatala nafsan. It doesn't say من قتل مسلما or مؤمنا or شيعيا or سنيا or مسيحيا or يهوديا. من قتل نفسا بغير نفس فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا. Killing one person equals the murder of the entire humanity. How can you say radical Islam? Now, there was a journalist asking me just recently that Trump wants to fight radicalism. How you can help or so? I hope so. I hope he's serious in fighting radicalism. He doesn't have to bomb more or make more wars. He just stopped supporting those who are exporting terrorism. That's the way those states, those regimes who are supporting terrorism, just stop them, deny them from that. So you see, we as Muslims now, they're killing us over there. I mean, this morning, when you listen to the news, how many people were bombed in Baghdad just today? The media don't talk about that. Something happened in Jerusalem, all the media start talking about it today, right? But in Baghdad, in Basra, in Beirut, in Yemen, in Sana'a, in Libya, people are dying by bomb and explosion and terrorism by thousands every day. No one cares. Nobody cares. But now, so okay, if you're really serious about fighting terrorism, we are going to help him. If he is really serious, just, be serious about that. There's nothing called radical Islam. That's a big lie. Islam is not radical, because if it is radical, then it's not Islam anymore. Because all the verses in the Quran are about balancing. But we really are poor when it comes to PR. We had a meeting just, was 2 days ago with Mary and her husband, Erin, and Kathy Khalil, and Laura Berry. I see some of them, they are in this meeting. That how can we develop a powerful PR for our community? And I know more people may be interested than some of you. This open, inshallah, when we meet next time, whoever is interested to come. Because sometimes media, they bombed us with the thing, and it's not easy to win this war. But if we put our minds together, our hearts together, our ideas together, our answers together, we may develop a strategy that help us at the end. But then one of the starting point is to start from the masajid. How beautiful that you are here. It's not an usbu, it's not a fundraising, it's not, it's just a Sunday service, and it's for Imam Elahi, and we saw so many kids with our crowd today. I think that is a healthy thing, because family really is the foundation. That if we talk about family values, about love and kindness and respect and responsibility, trust, peace, justice, hard work, honesty, integrity, if the kids, they learn these values when they are young, then when they grow up as a community, then we have a community of peace, a community of justice, a community of unity, a beloved community that Martin Luther King was talking about. So I think the sunnah of the masjid should be taken so seriously. Imam Ali said that, and I know that now we have all this Marrakech and qa'at and all this building and all this places, but nothing can be substitute for masjid. It's very important. This is why Quran 30 times talk about masjid, and Imam Ali said, when you go to masjid, you get one of 8 blessings, or all of them, or some of them. Akhan mustafadan billah, you know a friend, faithful friend. I mean, it's good that, our children, daughters and sons, they grow up, they want to marry and they don't know anybody. And they go to other places to get married. But if they come together and they know each other through massage and to healthy environment, that's a good beginning. أو علما مستطرفا, you get education. آية محكمة, you receive some wisdom. يسمع كلمة تدله على هدى, you get some guidance. أو رحمة منتظرة, you receive the mercy and love of Allah. أو كلمة ترده عن ردى, something that save you from sin. يترك ذنبا, to stop anything is wrong. خشية أو حياء, out of fear, out of modesty. So masjid is a place that you can learn a lot. So I hope that we can do this, because our community, like any other community, is in danger. Believe me, like 20 years ago, we didn't think that drugs is a big issue in the Muslim community one day. And it is. We thought that we are safe. I mean, drugs, we talk about other Americans, they have this problem, we are Muslim, we don't have this problem. Alcohol is not our problem, right? Divorce is not our problem. Suicide is not our problem. Depression is not our problem. But now you see, we in this community, we have all these problems and diseases, like every other community. And only God knows that in some years, how things may even change, that total loss of identity, that our children and grandchildren, they don't know anything about like a sense of Islam of their grandpa or grandma or anything. It's just totally changed. Alhamdulillah, now we in Dearborn, of course, because we have so many masajid and madaris, and we are much more blessed than many other Muslims in the other areas that they lack anything that we have. But even in our community, we are losing it because we don't have that attachment and that attention to the masajid that we had in the past. So if you are living today with this impression and this feeling that we really need to educate our children and awareness, either our children or our grandchildren or grandchildren, the older, the elderly more responsible, that you know the values. So transformation of these traditions to the new generations, I think this is our responsibility to take it seriously, because it is true that we live in a country of law, but still we see so much injustice in spite of everything. And it happened to other community. One day the Japanese, and then the German, and then the Jews, and then the Catholics, and then before that the African American and Indians. And now everybody is talking about Islam and Muslims. Hopefully it's not going to happen to us what happened to Jews, Germany, and Japanese at that time, concentration camps. But sometimes you really get scared with all of this, that somebody like Donald Trump, he's the president of the country, and with the kind of people around him. Sometime I said to one of the journalists, I said, don't talk about radical Islam. You may want to talk about radical Donald Trump. Is he more radical than Islam? If you go with that, it's really this radicalism. The word that they chose for 2016, what was the word? There is a group that they get together, they are expert in English language, and they choose the word of the year, like the word of 2016. They vote for it. They brought all these words and all these expressions, and they say that what is one word that represents the reality of 2016. Anybody heard about that? No, they don't care about this, no. They don't care about Islamophobia. That is our problem, that they don't care about Islamophobia. Dumpster fire. They said this, they choose one word, but this year they couldn't have it one. They choose two words together. Dumpster fire, you know, this place that they put the garbage and then even fire in the garbage. They are saying that that was the situation of America in 2016. It was a dumpster fire. It's chaotic. They talk about election and they talk about wars in the Middle East and, you know, the messy politics and all of these things. This is just so much garbage all over. And this is really, it's not something just somebody made this work. They do this after so much studies and so much consultation, and they vote for it. If they say it, it is really something very, very seriously. So we have to take this seriously and be ready. Islamophobia that you mentioned, Hajj, it is really a serious issue for us, of course. We cannot ignore this disease, this cancer of Islamophobia that it is going on. And I just received 3 days ago, we received a letter in the House of Wisdom. And we received this letter many times. And this was from Wisconsin, from another state. So somebody saw me in one of the interview and Islamic House of Wisdom, and I said, you know, appreciate what he did. He found our address and email address and, you know, the mail address and wrote 2-3 pages and talking, you think that you are a moderate Muslim? If you are a moderate Muslim, you have to condemn Quran and the Hadith. And he put some of the references in the Quran, they're wrong, of course, that, you know, Quran invites to kill all the Christians. I said, where in the Quran says that go out and kill all the Jews? I never saw such a thing in the Quran. Quran never said such a thing. But, you know, they have all this propaganda, powerful propaganda in their mind. And really they think so. This guy is very sincere. When you know, read his letter, he's not like an evil in a sense of really he just want to be hateful. He's so ignorant and so much he heard about this that he really believes so. He thinks that we are criminals, all of us, like as Muslims. Now, if somebody really give education that before you talk about Quran, go and read your own book, the Torah, the Injil. I mean, read, do you know that in the Old Testament, there are 18 kinds of sins that the sinner must be punished, must be killed by stones. It is there. It says, even if you don't listen to your parents, you must be killed by a stone. It is in the Bible. If you don't listen to your parents, must be killed by a stone. If a girl got married in the name of she is a girl, she is a virgin, and she is not, she must be killed by a stone. The Bible says. If you work on Saturday, it's amazing. The Bible says, if you work on Saturday, you must be killed by a stone. Because Saturday is the holiday for Jews. You are not supposed to work. Adultery. If somebody committed adultery, killed by a stone. Homosexuality. It is in the Bible, homosexuality. Somebody, a man and a man, they had sex. Both of them must be killed by a stone. So how come you don't see all these verses and then all of a sudden you found something and you are criticizing Islam? So that is really something that Islamophobia that you mentioned, we have to be very, very careful. I hope that inshallah this new year is not messy like 2016. And I hope that the end of the wars and beginning of peace and end of ISIS, and may Allah help those real jihadis, not the jihadis in the media, the true jihadis who are fighting ISIS in Iraq and in Syria, in Yemen, in Libya. May Allah provide them with victory, and may Allah help us to raise our family, especially on the day of birth of Imam Al-Askari, who was really part of this beautiful family that brought balance and beauty and blessing as the family of our Holy Prophet, and they were so generous. As a matter of fact, there is a hadith that a guy, his name was Ali ibn Ibrahim ibn Musa ibn Ja'far, one of the from Musa ibn Ja'far family, but was a child, a son that they are Waqifi. You know, among the Shi'ia we have Ithna Ashari and we have Waqifi that they stopped at Musa ibn Ja'far, and we have Zaydi, different kind of, and Ismaili, and they were Waqifi. They heard that Imam Al-Askari was very generous. They said, let's go, and we are poor, get some money. Their father and their son, they are going towards Samarra, and they never met with Imam Al-Askari. The father said, I wish when we meet with the Imam, I heard that he is very generous. He gives me 500 dirhams. So I have 200 dirhams, I have debt, pay that, and you know, $100 I pay like for investments, for job, and $200 we spend for food and clothes and so on and so forth. And his son said that I don't want 500. If I have 300 dirhams, that's enough for me. They were just chatting. I mean, they, just talking, walking, and chatting. They went to Samarra and they met with Imam Al-Askari, and when they left, Imam gave them 2 small bags to each one. They opened it. The father had 500 dirhams, and the son 300. They were shocked that how Imam Al-Askari knew about that. We were talking among ourselves. SubhanAllah. This is the nature of blessings of Ahlul Bayt, that yes, they have certain miracles and certain blessings that is not normal for like normal human beings. But still later on they mentioned this story, and somebody told them that if you know this about Imam Al-Askari, why you are still Waqifi? Why you are not like Imamiyya, Ithna Ashari? Said, well, we got used to that, we cannot now change it. It's too late for us to change it. So there are so many things that might be wrong in the community that we cannot say that, well, it's hard to change. It's 2017. I hope that we make a resolution that if there is something wrong in our custom, in our traditions, in our family life, community life, we are determined to change that.